Okay, class, in this short video, we're going to be talking about the geography of Peru. Alright, so first off, let's talk about where Peru is located. Peru is a country found on the west coast of South America. It is the third largest country on this continent after Brazil and Argentina. So here we have Peru, and remember I mentioned that the easiest way to remember where it is and how it looks like the lowercase r when we look at it from an angle, or from if we tilt our heads a little bit. And the only other countries that are bigger are Argentina and Brazil. Now, this country has a varied landscape. Peru has everything that you can think of. It has mountains, it has deserts, it has beaches, and it has rainforest. Speaking of the mountains, they have some of the world's tallest mountains. Deserts, they have some of the world's driest deserts. Beaches, they have some of the more popular tourist destinations. And then the rainforest is home to a huge chunk of the Amazon rainforest, which is pretty fun. Alright, so western Peru is made up of deserts primarily. So this area that I'm kind of highlighting or drawing with my pencil, this area here is primarily desert. It's very, very hot. Doesn't rain very often, but a lot of major cities are found within that area. Now, surprisingly, even though this area is covered by deserts, this area is the most populated area in Peru. About 50% of people live in this area. So kind of going back, in that area that I've just circled, about half of Peru's population lives in that area alone. So it just goes to show you how, even though it's a desert, it is still very highly populated. So in this area, we have some major cities like the city of Lima, which happens to also be the capital. You have the city of Trujillo, which is a coastal city. Another city, the city of Chiclayo. Another city of Chimbote. And then you have Ica. And these are all cities that are located near the coast or within that desert region. The next region we're going to talk about is the mountain region. And the mountain region, I kind of get ahead of myself, is this area right here, which is a huge chunk of Peru. And it's that middle section, that middle area. Now, the Andes run through all of Peru, running from north to south. And this area has many tall mountains. The tallest mountain here in Peru is called Mount Huarascan, and it has an elevation of 22,205 feet above sea level. So it is the tallest mountain in Peru. Now, in the Andes, there is another taller one that is found in Argentina, but we'll talk more about that mountain later. Now, this region, the one that I'm kind of coloring and shading in after I circled, is home to some very large cities, especially and very important cities in Peru. You have Cusco, which is this one right here. Cusco is going to be a very important city that we'll be talking about in the future. Arequipa, another large city. This one I had the pleasure of going and visiting. Puno is another beautiful city next to a large lake. And you also have the city of Cajamarca, which is down here. And this city is famous for having festivals and celebrations known as Carnival, which is pretty cool. So, very mountainous terrain. And we'll talk about some of the adaptations that people have had to make for having to live in these areas. Alright, and the final region is that of the rainforest. So Peru has a rainforest. Most people tend to think, when they think of the Amazon rainforest, they think that it's only found in Brazil, when in reality, that's not the case. Now, the Amazon rainforest covers the eastern part of Peru, and this region is home to a variety of plants and animals. It is also home to many indigenous tribes, many of which never had contact with the modern world. So think about that. There are some tribes out there that have never seen a telephone. that have never seen electricity or a light bulb turn on. They haven't had access to modern medicine. That's what that means by never having contact with the modern world. And this area pretty much includes all of this. And the rest of it is entirely rainforest. And you can see it looks like almost close to half of Peru is rainforest. Now, some major cities, one major city is the city of Iquitos. One cool thing about Iquitos, you cannot drive to get to Iquitos. You either have to fly in an airplane or you have to ride on a boat. It is the largest city that you cannot access by road. So Iquitos is right here. You either have to fly by an airplane or you have to use one of the many rivers to get there. You can't drive there. The rainforest is too thick here. Another city is Pucallpa, which is this one down here. And then another one, this was a very popular tourist destination because it is home to the southern part of the Amazon rainforest, and that is Puerto Maldonado. Puerto Maldonado is in this area. Here you have Pucallpa and so forth. But very, very popular, very hot, very humid. And we'll talk more about that later as well. All right, the next one, the capital of, just some facts about Peru. The capital of Peru is Lima. And this is one of the oldest cities in the Western Hemisphere. And it was founded in 1535. So it is close to over 500 years old, which is very impressive and amazing. Now, this city has a population of nearly 10 million people. It is also known as a mega city. And that's about 1/3 of the entire population of Peru, which is huge. Like many countries within South America, Peru is also a multi-ethnic country, with the first majority of its population being mestizo, and the other majority being of Spanish and Italian descent. So it's a very multi-ethnic country. There's a lot of other ethnicities, not just Spanish, English, mestizo. They also have a lot of Asian countries, or a lot of Asian influence. People from Japan, China, and so forth. And then these are just images of the city of Lima. Alright. And lastly, with this, I just wanted to cover, kind of let you know what other countries surround Peru. So Peru is surrounded by the following countries. You have Colombia to the north. You have Ecuador to the north as well. Brazil to its west. Chile to the south, which is right here. Kind of got cut off. And then Bolivia right here, right next to it. And those are the 5 countries that touch or border Peru. Now, at some point or another, Peru has gone to war with some of these countries, kind of arguing and fighting over territory and who owns what. But for the most part, things have been pretty peaceful this last few years. So overall, we know that there are 3 regions. 1, coastal desert. 2, Andes Mountains, or mountain region. And then rainforest. We know that 5 countries border. Peru, and those are Ecuador, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Bolivia, And I believe that's it. Now, go ahead and finish answering these questions. If you have any concerns or anything that you would like to add, let me know. Be sure to answer all the questions and make sure you turn this in. Thank you.